This is New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News with Bill Vitter and Liz Joe and Lee Goldberg with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eyewitness News at 6.
It was just initially just a horrendous exploding noise.
A routine morning commute ends in a horrific train crash. A life-altering experience for passengers on a crowded New Jersey transit train speeding right through a barrier and then smashing into the Hoboken terminal. Bloodied and critically hurt passengers pulled out of the twisted wreckage of the train, and a woman on the platform killed in the twisted wreckage of the station. Investigators now trying to figure out why that train didn't stop at the end of the line.
We're panicking because I believe those people in the front were very badly injured. So they started yelling, I guess, once they saw the blood.
And good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Bill Ritter.
And I'm Liz Jones. This disaster happened at the height of the morning commute with that train crashing into the terminal. The big question tonight is, why was it going so fast when it was supposed to be coming to a stop?
Here's the latest right now. One person is dead. 114 others have been injured. That number has varied all day. The woman who died tonight, identified as 34-year-old Fabiola Bitar de Kroon of Hoboken. The engineer, 48-year-old Thomas Gallagher, moments ago released from the hospital. Sources tell Eyewitness News he was going 30 miles an hour. That's 3 times the speed limit.
We've just gotten this video. The train in Hackensack about 40 minutes before the crash in Hoboken. A team from the National Transportation Safety Board is now on scene and investigating what happened in those 40 minutes before the crash. Investigators tonight are hoping to pull one of the 2 event recorders from the train, and at that point, they will be able to determine how fast that train was going and if the brakes were ever applied.
As with the commute home tonight, New Jersey Transit offering extra bus and light rail service, and Metro North cross-honoring New Jersey Transit tickets. Path trains are also up and running. By the way, here's a map of this morning's journey of New Jersey Transit train 1614, leaving Spring Valley and then crashing at the planned final stop, the end of the line in Hoboken.
We have several reports tonight on the crash, the witnesses, the investigation, and the mess of a commute home. We're going to begin with Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett. He's at the scene where the NTSB just finished a news conference. NJ.
That's right, Liz, outside the staging area where safety board investigators are hoping to get their first look inside the crippled rail terminal. Now, when trains arrive in Hoboken, they glide to a stop. That did not happen here. Instead, as Bill said a moment ago, multiple sources are telling Eyewitness News the train was moving at least as fast as 30 miles per hour. The question tonight is why. Inside the terminal, it was pandemonium. The train, packed with passengers, barreled through the station and slammed headlong into the wall of the terminal waiting room. There was no warning.
The second half of the first car was completely destroyed to where they were crawling on their hands and knees. And we were trying to get, as many people out. I assisted in maybe 3 or 4 people getting out.
The victims were strapped into stretchers and rushed from the disaster scene. More than 100 people were injured, most on board the train. Omar Mamoun says the engineer never slowed down.
As we were approaching the station, I noticed that the train wasn't slowing down. So I got confused, but by the time that I realized what happened, we had already ran through the platform.
There's a solid concrete and steel bumper block to where if the train was to go too far, it would hit it.
Right.
Apparently the train was traveling fast enough to have hit it and gone over it.
The train originated in Spring Valley, New York. 4 cars pushed by a diesel engine. None of the witnesses we spoke with heard the sound of screeching brakes.
Being an engineer for 17 years, I know brakes. It was quiet, really. It was just quiet.
The engineer operated the train from the first car and survived the crash, identified tonight as 48-year-old Thomas Gallagher of Morris Plains, New Jersey. The investigation here is only beginning to get underway.
We'll be pulling the event recorder this evening. From the event recorder, we hope to get information such as speed and braking. Our mission is to not just understand what happened, but to understand why it happened so that we can prevent it from happening again.
And so to clarify, the data recorders on these trains are in 2 places. In the front of the train, which was, of course, very badly damaged, and in the back of the train, which was entirely undamaged. And the safety board revealed this afternoon that the engineer has since been released from the hospital. They are, of course, hoping to question him in the next several hours. Live tonight, Hoboken, New Jersey. NJ Burke at Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
NJ, thank you. Meanwhile, we're learning more about that engineer of this ill-fated train. Why was the train going so fast, especially when it should have been slowing down and stopping? His name is 48-year-old Thomas Gallagher. As NJ said, he's now out of the hospital. We're told he has been cooperating with investigators, but as NJ said, they want to know a lot more. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim talking to Gallagher's neighbor in the New Jersey borough of Morris Plains. Stefan.
Well, Bill, obviously the investigators have a lot of questions they're hoping Thomas Gallagher can help them with. I can tell you we've spoken to several neighbors here. They all speak very highly of him. They say he's lived here for a very long time in Morris Plains with his wife and his 2 teenage daughters. We have some video to show you. Just moments ago, his wife arrived home with a police escort, briefly stopped home, picked up her 2 daughters, and then they took off with that police escort. It's safe to say they are probably going to be with their father and husband. Now, a next-door neighbor who was in that home with the family when the wife arrived home says they're having a hard time still grasping what happened, but he says that Gallagher was, I always dreamed to be an engineer, a childhood dream. He says he's a man who loves his family and loves his job.
Just a fine family. Great next door neighbors, wonderful kids, very caring people about others. It's just tragic in terms of what they're going through or what they're going to be going through. Yeah. But just very nice. And when I heard it, or actually saw you come up and heard that that was the case, I could not believe it.
Now, again, we do not know what caused this crash. We do know that the engineer, Thomas Gallagher, was injured and that he is, according to authorities, cooperating with the investigation. Needless to say, whatever he has to share with them will be key to this investigation. Reporting live in Morris Plains, Stefan Kim, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Stefan, thank you. Well, those who are on board the train tonight are telling their frightening stories of a crowded train and the powerful impact that jolted the passengers. The extent of the damage shows the force of that impact. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson has talked to the passengers all day long as she continues her coverage now. Kim.
Well, Liz, terrifying moments in the dark, people crying, some bleeding, others unconscious. The first car of this train and the people riding in it, they truly felt and saw the impact of this crash.
We kind of just helped the injured off, and we walked off the train, but everybody was like stunned.
In shock as the train they were riding on.
The conductor himself, he had blood all over his face and his clothing.
Train 1614 jumped the tracks and slammed into the station here in Hoboken.
All of a sudden, I just hear this wicked, gnarly metal sounds like nails on a chalkboard, you know, and then followed by this huge crash, just this deafening noise. But then that noise was followed by this deafening silence. And then all I heard was just screams and yelling.
Among them, Jamie. She was riding in the first car of that doomed train. When I crossed paths with a 31-year-old from Woodridge, she was still shaking, visibly upset.
I saw a couple gentlemen bleeding, and some people couldn't walk. Some people were like covered in I guess debris.
The impact was so severe, the second car of the train partially collapsed into the first. Jamie says like an accordion.
One of the young ladies there had got thrown from that area. Her legs got stuck in the middle of the doorway, but we managed to pull her out before the actual, the last of the impact happened.
She was okay, but one woman standing on the platform was killed. Many more critically injured.
You hate to see anything like this happen. It's just ridiculous.
Tom was inside the station, so was Matt. He had just swiped his Metro card and was heading to the platform.
All these people started rushing up the stairs towards me, just crying and screaming and jumping the turnstiles and everything.
And Matt tells me one small, innocent, seemingly small act may have saved his life. Before he went into this terminal, he stopped to have a cigarette. Had he not, he would have been right on that platform when the train crashed. For now, we're live in Hoboken. Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Wow, what a story, Kim. Thank you. 114 people hurt, some of them critically. They left home this morning, bound for work or for school or wherever. No way they thought their routine commute would be life-changing. New Jersey reporter Tony Yates at Hoboken University Medical Center with the story of those who were injured today. Tony.
Yes, and Hoboken Medical Center is the closest hospital to that train station. Its role in mass casualty situations like this is to be prepared to take in those with non-life-threatening injuries. It received 23 of those people from the train.
I don't know. The train just didn't stop. It kind of like picked up speed and then crashed into the building.
Alexis Valley left Hoboken Medical Center with her mother and a cousin. She's 5 months pregnant. The baby's fine, but Alexis has 4 staples in her head from some of the falling debris that hit her before fellow passengers got her out through a window.
What would you say for all those people who helped you get out?
I just hope they all got out because I was the first one out. And the train, everything was still falling, so I just hope they're all okay.
Hoboken Medical Center prepared to take patients who were not suffering life-threatening injuries. Ambulances arrived with victims alert, the walking wounded.
People reported to the emergency department. We were prepared with staff, physicians, and nurses, and prepared for patients.
23 patients have been treated with injuries ranging from bumps and bruises to broken limbs. Only 1 is expected to be admitted. So far, all but 7 have left. Miriam says she and other passengers were preparing to depart the train.
It was normal, slowing down, like he would stop and everybody was getting up to leave.
And 2 of those passengers who would have otherwise remained just fellow commuters making their way to work became her guardians in the wreckage.
It makes me feel so good that there is good people.
Hoboken Mayor Dawn Zimmer was here a little bit earlier. She was greeting some of the patients who were still here and also thanking the staff for all of the hard work they did today. For now, we are live here in Hoboken. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Hard work indeed. Tony, thank you very much. Well, at this point, it's still unclear how long it will take to investigate the scene of the crash, repair the damage to Hoboken Terminal, and then for normal train service to resume. So people who take New Jersey Transit trains out of Hoboken are now scrambling for other ways to get home. Eyewitness News reporter Nina Pineda is in Secaucus Junction and continues our coverage. Nina.
Liz, with almost a dozen lines converging in Hoboken, the delays are being felt, throughout the system. We were just up on the platform and saw the Spring Valley line taking commuters home. It was very crowded, and people who are rerouted here to Secaucus Junction are being told to exercise some patience. 60,000 commuters who usually travel through the Hoboken terminal daily are finding another way home tonight.
They said to take the New Jersey Transit 126 bus to the Port Authority, and from there, I guess you take the subways.
Just before the beginning of the 5 p.m. rush hour, path service resumed both ways out of Hoboken Terminal, so that will help ease the commute. But New Jersey Transit suspended all the rail, light rail, and bus service out of Hoboken. Hudson Place in Hoboken remains closed, so it's best to avoid that area. New York Waterways to Hoboken also suspended service, and the Hudson-Bergen light rail not operating. Train service on the Pascack Valley, Port Jervis, and the Maine and Bergen lines are running on a modified schedule. Passengers are being shuttled on free shuttles from Hoboken to Secaucus. And both public and private bus lines are cross-honoring tickets. Route 126 commuters have expanded service. They can get on and off in Hoboken at City Hall, and Metro North is also cross-honoring tickets. Commuters who find themselves at Secaucus Junction are being directed by New Jersey Transit employees. The reroute is affecting all lines. Passengers told to expect crowds and prepare for delays.
When I went to customer service, they told me, like, right now they don't have a clue when anything's going to be going back that way.
And so what are you going to try to do?
I'm going to try to see if I get a bus or a cab or hitchhike.
Okay. Good luck. From this region reacting as they always do, facing adversity. They work together. We saw people sharing rides, giving strangers rides, sharing taxis and Ubers. And Uber also announcing they are refunding passengers picked up near the Hoboken terminal in the hours after this tragedy. We're live at Secaucus Junction. Nina Pineda, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Nina, thank you. This Hoboken station, crucial transportation point for about 150,000 commuters every day as we see the water view of all that. Folks transferring to other trains headed for New York. That's why you saw the governor of New York alongside the governor of New Jersey. It sits facing the Hudson, and we get a unique view from the water. So we put Josh Einiger in that little boat tonight outside the terminal. Josh?
Yeah, Bill, we came out here to see what things would look like from the Hudson River. And let me show you, first of all, this is the New York Waterway terminal, part of the Hoboken terminal. You could see that ferry pulling out. A little bit of activity here as New York Waterway actually positions some of their boats. They're actually parking them here for the night. They've been allowed to do that, but nobody in or out of the facility because it's still so unsafe and so structurally unstable. We're pulling forward a little bit, and in just a second you'll see the New Jersey State Police is taking up a position just on this little slip heading towards the Hoboken terminal. All marine traffic being kept away. That's how concerned they are for the structural integrity of this building. It's not clear when they will allow a New York Waterway service back here at the Hoboken terminal. They are operating now to the Hoboken 14th Street terminal in the north side of the city. We are live in the Hudson River, on the Hudson River. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Yeah, stay on the river, please. Not in it. Josh, thank you. We're obviously following every small and big development in this story. We'll bring it to you first on our ABC-7 NY News app. That's where we've also compiled the raw video from today's horrific crash. And we have details on what to do for the commute tonight and for tomorrow morning.
And as we continue with Eyewitness News at 6 on this Thursday night, we'll have the day's other news.
We start with a special honor for the battalion chief of the FDNY killed in that house explosion in the Bronx. This as family and fellow firefighters attend his wake.
And it's been a cool, cloudy day with gusty winds. Not a lot of rain, but that's starting to change. Umbrellas starting to come out in the west side right now. We've got temperatures only in the low 60s, but it feels like it's in the 50s across the area. You see the steadier rain coming up from the south, so get a good soaking next 36 hours. The latest on the track of now Hurricane Matthew. That's coming up in the 7-day AccuWeather forecast in a few minutes on Eyewitness News at 6.
Experience the thrill of the Lexus Performance line. Because the ultimate expression of power is control. Lease the 2016 IS 300 all-wheel drive for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Columbus Day is about finding something new. At the Columbus Day sale at Raymore and Flanagan, we've got a brand new offer. An incredible 72 months, 6 years, no interest. Everything in the store is on sale now. Save $911 on this 6-piece sectional featuring 2 power recliners, 22% on this gorgeous queen bed, and 33% on Bell & S queen mattress sets. Don't miss the Columbus Day sale, only at Raymore and Flanagan.
I know you. Welcome.
Hi. We're your neighbors. We live across the street.
Oh, hey, thanks for this. So you got Time Warner Cable like the rest of the hood? Mm-hmm. Genius.
Yeah, they offer tons of free HD channels.
And you can record 6 shows at the same time. And with the super fast internet, entertainment nirvana.
Wow, nirvana.
Switch to Time Warner Cable. For $89.99 per month, you'll get free HD channels, 100 meg internet with no data cap, and unlimited calling. Call 1-844-303-0314.
Looks like you're all hooked up. Game's about to start. Let's do it.
We're watching here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how about you and I go watch my favorite show?
Switching is easy. You'll get our exclusive 1-hour arrival window, a money-back guarantee, and there's no contract to sign.
Oh, you got the TWC phone. It's unlimited calling to like half the world, including Mexico, Canada, India, European Union.
Yeah?
This will work as a coffee tube.
It says fragile.
Get TV, internet, and phones for $89.99 per month, plus free installation, TV equipment, and Epics included. Call now.
For instant updates on the Hoboken crash, download the ABC-7 NY News app.
Well, an illegal gas hookup was discovered at the home in the Bronx that exploded on Tuesday, killing an FDNY deputy chief. 2 men have been arrested in connection to that explosion. At a court appearance today for Garibaldi Castillo, prosecutors said the home was packed with marijuana plants and barrels of liquid fertilizer. Julio Salcedo Contrero also appeared in court, waiving extradition from New Jersey. Meanwhile, in Yonkers today, mourners attended the wake for Michael Fahey. He was posthumously promoted from battalion chief to deputy chief. His funeral will be held on Saturday morning in Yonkers. And the funeral for iconic Israeli leader Shimon Perez will be held tomorrow. Dignitaries, including former President Clinton, paid their respects today. Governor Cuomo was supposed to attend the service tomorrow, but he canceled his plans because of today's train crash in New Jersey. Perez, you may recall, died yesterday morning. He suffered a stroke 2 weeks ago.
Now to vote 2016, and today the candidates for president attacking one another's business practices. Hillary Clinton today talking about a new report in Newsweek that opponent Donald Trump violated the U.S.-Cuba embargo. Clinton says Trump put business ahead of laws. Earlier today in Iowa, she offered condolences to the victims of the crash in Hoboken. Trump, meanwhile, in New Jersey today, taking aim at Clinton's relationship with her campaign donors and with Wall Street. He said she follows the money and would put the Oval Office up for sale, his words, if she had the chance.
Well, we're in for some rain for the next few days. Lee Goldberg is tracking it as his AccuWeather forecast, and also he'll have the very latest on Hurricane Matthew. Stay with us.
And you're looking at what we see on our app and our tag board, ABC7NY. All the video, all the pictures that you all have sent us today from people who were there at this horrific crash in the New Jersey Transit train in Hoboken. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Raymore and Flanagan. For the closest location, visit RaymoreFlanagan.com.
The candidates, the issues, the debate goes back and forth.
We stay rock steady, making a difference every single day.
We're New York City public school teachers.
Challenging minds.
Motivating dreams.
Encouraging excellence. Because rock steady means never letting up.
Parents in the community are pitching in.
Together we can build great public schools.
In every neighborhood, for every child.
Passion and promise in our public schools. The United Federation of Teachers.
Safety should always be the first, second, and third priority.
When it comes to safety, Toyota has you covered. Highlander's available blind spot monitor helps you know when it's safe to change lanes. Sienna's available pre-collision system warns you of a possible frontal collision. And RAV4 offers available Siri Eyes Free to help you keep your eyes on the road instead of your phone. Lease a new 2016 Highlander for just $269 a month. Or lease a new 2017 Sienna for $299 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
This January, the boys say goodbye to Broadway. Don't miss your last chance to see the Tony and Grammy-winning phenomenon. Jersey Boys. Final performance January 15th.
Make anything magnifique with fromage. See how at cheesesofeurope.com.
Newspapers expose Scott Garrett as anti-gay and a shameless bigot.
He's no better when it comes to women. Garrett was the only New Jersey legislator to vote against tougher penalties for sexual predators, against the Violence Against Women Act. And Garrett opposes a woman's right to choose, even for rape victims. Garrett put his Tea Party bigotry ahead of us.
That's why police and first responders endorse Josh Gottheimer. He shares our values.
I'm Josh Gottheimer, and I approve this message.
Well, we've got several gloomy days to look forward to.
Yeah, it's really some much-needed rain. It's kind of the best way to get it rather than getting it from a tropical system. It's sort of a connection to it. Now the question is, down the road, do we have to be concerned about an actual tropical system in Hurricane Matthew? More on that in a moment. So outside we go now, and there's lower Manhattan. It's just pretty nasty out. Some gusty winds. It's cool. It's cloudy. There hasn't been a tremendous amount of rain in New York City. A little bit more over Ocean County. We're only at 63 now. Make sure you have a jacket tonight and layer up. It is going to feel rather raw. There are your sunset times. No rainfall officially in New York City right now, but look at this by Doppler estimates. About 1/3 of an inch over Southern Ocean, and look at this, over 2 inches near Cape May, and Doppler estimates near 10 inches over parts of Delaware. So the heavy rain is very close. Steadier rain overnight, and that could linger, especially through tomorrow and even in parts of the area into Saturday morning. In general, 1 to 2 inches of rain, maybe locally higher amounts to the south. 40-mile-per-hour gusts at the coast tomorrow, and that will also mean some minor coastal flooding. Now, the rain gets more intermittent and lighter over the weekend, maybe even some brightening by the end of the weekend. So the heaviest rainfall amount's going to be here in a Long Branch and down to Toms River. We're only at about 60 right now. Most temperatures in the low, perhaps middle 60s, where it's a little drier. It was a little brighter over parts of Connecticut today. So wind gusts are already over 30 at the coast, even pushing 40 miles an hour. They'll peak through about midday or early afternoon tomorrow, again with with wind gusts over 40. So the wind gusts will go into the day on Friday. There's also some coastal flood advisories for some minor coastal flooding. We have a new moon. So rain getting the city overnight. Have all your rain gear tomorrow. Gusty winds as well. Temperatures will be struggling through the 60s. You see the steadier rain coming up from the south here. Some dry air is fighting it, but the rain will win as we go through the overnight hours as this channel of heavy rainfall lifts into the tri-state area. Look at the futurecast here. See how it's still struggling late tonight. That's why I think the Yankees get the game in, even though it's drizzly just like last night. Then steadier rain into your morning commute tomorrow, throughout the day tomorrow, even into tomorrow night, and then lasting into early Saturday morning, eventually pulling away. So it's steadier rain through tomorrow, then more damp and drizzly and off and on rain on Saturday. We'll be watching to see if Matthew takes that turn to the north on Saturday. That's the key. Right now, wind 75 miles an hour. Will it take the turn toward Jamaica, Cuba, and then maybe into the Atlantic by early next week? We'll watch it closely. 58 tonight. The rain is heavier south and west. It overspreads the entire area tomorrow, continues into tomorrow night, and then as we get into the weekend, rain getting lighter, even getting drier by Sunday, maybe a couple of breaks. More likely we get the sun back early next week, and at that point, we're watching Matthew very closely. I'll have more at 11.
Okay. Thanks, Lee.
We go back. Laura Benke with today's sports. Stay with us.
I provide affordable housing for 5 families in Harlem.
I provide affordable housing for 8 families.
For dozens of families in Crown Heights, in Hamilton Heights,
on the Upper West Side,
in Chelsea, in Park Slope.
We house New York.
We house New York.
We house New York. We house New York.
We house New York.
We house New York.
Today we're going to talk about the all-new 2016 Chevy Cruze, but you're only going to answer me in emoji. So this Cruze has built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi with 24 gigs of data. It also comes with 24 months of Sirius XM satellite radio.
Like word, Chevy. That's the way to go.
Current qualified competitive lessees can get this Chevy Cruze for around $169 a month. See your local Chevy dealer.
The nodder, the drifter, the yawner, the slapper. It's time to meet the sleep experts from Raymore and Flanagan. Experience our exclusive process to determine your mattress bliss. Right now, Serta Queen sets start at $399. Every Bell & S Royal mattress comes with a free box spring. Let our sleep team be your dream team at Raymore and Flanagan.
2 names say it all.
Old Fort Niagara has been a fort longer than our country has been a country. And that's not the only thing you can only find in New York State. You can find it all, only in New York State. New York, it's all here. It's only here. Plan your fall getaway today at iloveny.com.
I'm Scott Garrett, and I approve this message.
Josh Gottheimer is using 9/11
to mislead New Jersey.
It's an outright lie.
The truth is, Scott Garrett was the co-sponsor of the very first bill
to get first responders their health care.
Scott's always stood with first responders.
He's never wavered in supporting us.
Josh talks about 2 massive tax and spending bills. That's why Josh Gottheimer lies.
He would raise our taxes and spend us
into billions of more debt.
You just can't trust
Josh Gottheimer.
Today's Sports Report is sponsored by Hyundai. The latest lineup of Hyundai cars and SUVs isn't just new, it's better. Because you deserve better.
She drives nice, huh?
Really nice. Man, you can get a lot in the Tucson. All-wheel drive, voice-controlled navigation.
Lane departure warning.
And auto emergency braking with pedestrian detection.
All backed by America's best warranty.
Windows?
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
Get the 2016 Tucson for an incredibly low $139 a month for 24 months. Hurry, this offer ends September 30th.
Magic number for the Mets, dos.
Very good. You pay attention to what I say. I like it. Thank you. The Mets are enjoying their final off day of the regular season today with their magic number steady at just 2 games, but it could get cut in half with the Cardinals' loss in Cincinnati tonight. As for their last series, it was an emotional one for the Mets and the Marlins. Last night, Jeurys Familia earning his 50th save of the season as New York took 2 of 3 games. But this was about more than results. The Mets supporting Miami after the loss of Jose Fernandez last weekend. The Marlins then paid their respects to the late pitcher after their final home game of the season Fernandez was laid to rest today. Well, the Yankees and Red Sox clash tonight for what is likely the last time this season, with the Pinstripes honoring the retiring David Ortiz before the game. The Yanks are still alive in the wild card hunt after coming dangerously close to elimination last night. That is before Mark Teixeira pulled out the late heroics, down 3 runs to begin the ninth. Tex blasted the grand slam for the walk-off win in what could be the final home run of his career as the Yanks won their 2nd straight over Boston. The countdown to Monday night continues for the Giants today, who get an extra day this week to prepare for a primetime clash with the undefeated Vikings in Minnesota. For Big Blue, it'll be a bounce-back opportunity after dropping their first of the year to Washington last week. Now, mental mistakes were a problem in the loss, and the Giants know they also need to be more efficient on offense. Odell Beckham still has not scored a touchdown this season. He'd like to change that soon.
I know for sure I can score every single game. I feel that way. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my abilities. It's just the opportunity.
Well, as for the Jets, they are focused now on the Seahawks. QB Russell Wilson saying today there is no doubt he will play Sunday at the Meadowlands, but it doesn't matter who's on the field for Seattle. The Jets' own offense has to figure things out after their dismal outing in Kansas City last week. That included 6 Ryan Fitzpatrick interceptions, and all the players know it.
I got to play better. I haven't scored a touchdown this year. I haven't done a great job of getting open. So I just got to make more plays.
The biggest golf spectacle hosted by the PGA is almost on. The Ryder Cup returns this year, and today the teams from the U.S. and Europe ceremoniously got things started. It's a pretty big event they put on. Play begins tomorrow morning. It's all at Hazeltine in Minnesota. All fancy than tomorrow. It's the real golf.
That's it.
Very fancy.
Quick question for all of you. Applause or booze for Big Papi at Yankee Stadium?
He should get applause.
Will he be?
He'll get both.
Cheater got applause at Fenway. He'll
get applause.
Exactly.
We're unanimous. All right.
Thanks, Laura. We want to go ahead and return to our top story, the deadly crash involving that New Jersey Transit train in Hoboken. The crash killed a 34-year-old woman from Hoboken and injured 114 others. The engineer, who's been identified as 48-year-old Thomas Gallagher, he is out of the hospital tonight. He is cooperating with investigators. However, he's not yet met with the NTSB.
Meanwhile, as for your commute, right now New Jersey Transit offering extra bus and light rail service, Metro North, cross-honoring New Jersey Transit tickets. PATH trains are running. Governor Cuomo and Governor Christie both saying they are working together as never before. We'll stay on top of the latest developments on the investigation. While our coverage continues on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock, that's it for us. I'm Bill Ritter.
I'm Liz Cho. World News Tonight is next.